It is not doggy stuff. Cindy, it isn't doggy stuff. But don't even look at it. It literally has nothing to do with you, baby. So I have 2 dogs, right? And one of them is Liv, who's over here. One of them is Cindy, who's over here. Liv needs to take basically doggy antidepressants. She's a rescue and she's been through a lot in life, so she's very nervous. Hi, Mark. But Liv doesn't like to take meds. So every evening and morning, I have to put Liv's meds in water, put it in like a diabetic syringe, and I have to give it to her through trickery. Hi, Julia. Hi, Liam. Oh, I like the name Liam. Hi, Jason. Hi, Odin. Hi, Charles. Hi, Gabby. Hi, Zach. Hi, Sakai. Hi, Karine. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, John. Hi, Armin. Hi, last one. And hi, Diane. Also, hi, Joe. Hi, Scooter. Hi, Glacian. Hi, Dartsa. Hi, Tara. So basically, Liv doesn't like to take meds. Cindy will literally eat pills off my hand, even if they taste disgusting. She will eat anything. She will literally eat anything. Oh my gosh. Hi, Naomi. I will tell you guys who Naomi is in a second. Well, like a little bit, upsec. Oh, you're seeing Cindy right over there. So basically one of them does not like to take meds. The other one will eat anything. Cindy doesn't need to take medication. Liv does. Giving Liv meds is like a whole Sin. What'd you do? What'd you do, Baba? What'd you do? That scared you, didn't it? Cindy will literally eat anything. Just give it to her. She'll eat it. So I give Liv meds, and it's like a procedure. It's like at least 20-minute procedure. I have to like force it down her throat in like a syringe thing with water. I have to like tell her that she's so great and she's like doing fantastic, and it's the last time that I'm giving it to her. Not that she understands me, but anyway, so Cindy sits there and she's like, why am I not getting doggy antidepressants in a syringe and water? I like everything that is put in my mouth. Just give it to me, mother. And so every time after I give Liv freaking meds, I need to give Cindy a treat or something like that and give Liv a treat because Cindy thinks that I'm giving Liv something tasty. But I'm giving her medication, and one of my dogs is just, doesn't like meds, and the other one will literally eat anything that you put in front of her, or not even in front of her. So Cindy is over here very upset that Liv is getting meds that taste like shit. Like, honestly, it's a powder thing, and it smells like chemical. It's a doggy antidepressant. Like, it cannot be good. At some point, I used to have to cut my Zoloft in half, and like my tongue touched it once, and I was like, "Ugh, that's disgusting." So I can't even imagine what the dog one tastes like, provided all of their stuff tastes worse than human stuff. So yes, and you're not missing out on anything. Please stop being so needy. And you're about to witness me take Atoxyl gel, which, by the way, I'm going to say, I think the guy who invented this got a Nobel Prize for this. Basically, it's like this gel. It's made out of enterosorbent. So they also have like Enteros gel and Atoxyl gel. So the sorbent is entero, and it basically, if you have like a food poisoning or your stomach hurts or anything like that, this like lines everything in your stomach. Like aligns everything in your stomach and like coats it, and so it absorbs it. Hello. And it like helps you feel better. So I've been having you remember those stomach aches that I've been having? So it's a food poisoning, and it had really shown itself last night. So I spent most of last night awake dealing with the food poisoning, and then I slept in till like, I want to say 2 p.m. because I was just so tired and I felt utterly like crap. I did not leave the vicinity of my like bathroom slash bedroom area until like 5 p.m. when my dad came over to bring me meds. Because yesterday I was like, oh, I'll just take ibuprofen. Like, it's a stomach ache and I have a light headache. That's going to help. So apparently that's even worse for your stomach. So yeah, the headache went away, but then my stomach was like, screw you. And I've been basically feeling like shit. I was supposed to be on a train right now to Kyiv for a job thing that I now have to tell you about at the end of this week, because this is sort of like I was supposed to go figure it out and go like talk it through, and I don't want to talk about it until I know whether I'm taking it or not taking it, or like what's going on. So I'm now going on Tuesday night, and I'm getting there on Wednesday, and I'm going to be there through Wednesday and then get back on Thursday morning. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm not getting on a train in this condition because, I needed to get a desk chair, and I couldn't order it online because they were like, oh, if you order online, we're going to ship it from Poland. And I was like, but it's available in a store nearby, like WTF. So my dad came over and he was like, well, let's drive to the store and just pick up the chair. And I was like, okay, sure. So at 7 p.m., I got in my dad's car with my dog, Cindy. And with my dog, Cindy, and we got to the store, and at the store, it was like super humid and like really hot, and it was just really hard to breathe. And so I almost fainted and I started feeling like shit again. We also found out that you can, in fact, just deliver it from the store. You just have to call them and order it. And I was like, so you're telling me I made this entire way so I could come to the register and be like, hey, can you please deliver this chair to me? So the chair should be here tomorrow. And the lovely delivery driver called me and was like, yeah, I'll be in your area at this hour. Does it work for you? And I was like, no. No. Also, you guys, the Kuznetsov person is a little Russian smitya. Could you please take it out? You know what we do with garbage? We take it out. So that right there could be taken out. So thank you guys. It's on TikTok. There is some Russian named person who is cursing me out in Polish. I love how they come in with like super Russian sounding names, and they're like, yeah, kurwa spierdola. Jestem Polsce. And it's like, yeah, no, you're not, dude. Your name is super Russian and you have 55 accounts and that's the third time you showed up. You're not Polish. You're not like your average Polish bypasser who just wants to curse me out. You're a Russian bot, but that's cool. Anyways, oh, hello. So basically I almost fainted, but the chair is going to be here tomorrow. I still have like a couple of things to order, like a desk and just like, like a desk lamp and stuff like that. But I just, this weekend, I had so many plans. I wanted to do like a tour of Ukrainian grocery stores and do like a day of life for you, a vlog, because you guys have been asking about it. And I was like, okay, I'm a terrible vlogger. I don't know how to do this, but I'll do it. My mom was happy to do it with me, which she never is. So I was like, yes, this is going to be great. And then this entire weekend, I was basically battling like a stomach ache that was coming and going. And then today, and then last night, it was like, nope, not stomach ache, just like a little prelude to a horrendous food poisoning you're about to suffer through. Good luck. So this is my medication that I'm supposed to take 3 times a day. Spanky. And it is really gross because it is literally like a gel that has some banana taste to it, but it makes your tongue like feel slightly numb. Like it doesn't numb your tongue, but it feels numb. It's weird. So you know what? I'm gonna take it in front of you. Thank you, Tara. But and I highly suggest this medication. It does really help. It's the first thing that like actually has alleviated all of my symptoms, or like most of them at least. But it is disgusting unless you like, like children's food formula. I don't think you'll be like into this. Gross. So gross. So freaking gross. But you know what? It is what it is. I'm gonna suffer through it. Ugh. It tastes, you know what it tastes like? Like, okay, you know what this tastes like? Imagine like putting like a banana yogurt out for a couple of days and it's like warm. And it's like warm and slightly. Hey, ladies, not right now. Disgusting. It tastes like warm banana yogurt that's like starting to go bad. Okay. So someone asked me if I had been to that bougie grocery store in Kyiv, and they mean good wine. Yes, I have. They also asked me what I think about it. So funny thing is that bougie grocery store in Kyiv is cool. I mean, like, they have a lot of stuff that like is sold in Whole Foods, for instance, or like other such places abroad, and it's much more expensive than your regular grocery store in Ukraine. But granted, it has brands that other grocery stores don't have, and it has like a lot of gluten-free stuff and a lot of like specialty foods and stuff like that. So I mean, if you have money and you have dietary preferences that are not going to be satisfied at like Silpo, then it's a really cool store. For me, it is like kind of a funny place because they have for instance, there are these like fellow swag kettles. I have one of those in the US that I got like years ago before the full scale invasion. And I believe it was like $150 or something. So it's $300 at that grocery store. They have a couple of like tumblers and tumblers and stuff like that. And that I bought for like $10 in the US, and they're like 25 in that grocery store. So I mean, like, it comes with the territory, right? It's a bougie grocery store that brings in like cool brands that are not available for sale in Ukraine, right? Or like limited, like available in like very limited places. So it like makes sense. But for someone who comes from like the US, it makes no sense, because for me, like, I'm looking at all of these things and they're considered like super bougie, and they're not bougie. Like you can literally like get that in Whole Foods, or like, I mean, you can get that like anywhere. You can get that on Amazon and stuff like that. So it's not like, you know, there is like a feel of luxury about the store, and the products are like from hard to reach places. So they're supposed to feel luxurious, but they don't feel luxurious to me, because like I know what they actually cost, and I know what they really are, right? So it's not like, I know that these are not some like super, it's kind of like, this store tries to be like Bergdorf Goodman, but like a food and like kitchen items, right? And that makes sense. But but it's not like Sandberg, and it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense for someone who's coming from the US. Guys, why did you decide that this is the right time to start barking and playing with? Just stop. Do not bark. Barking is not good. Also, you guys, there is Sandberg, and there is also Sandberg's mom. Oh, hi, Zero. So Naomi is Sandberg's mom. Sandberg is a Ukrainian. Well, Sandberg is an Australian who is a member of the Ukrainian armed forces, and he was in the Donetsk direction fighting with a. They're both barking, but fighting with a specific unit. And then he left, and now he's actually about to get deployed again. And yes, those are sounds of enjoyment. Liv, get down. Get down. You had your dinner. Get the fuck down. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy. It used to be Cindy just wanting attention, and now it's both of them just like kind of like roughhousing each other. Don't even dare. Do not dare. No. Yes. Okay. So Sandberg is about to get deployed again. And he's fantastic. But so there is, you might have seen the story of Ben, the guy who was Give me 1 second. My dog is eating a chair that her food is standing on. Liv, listen, you two. Okay, come here. You guys. Hello. Excuse me. I got shit to do, okay? And you're not. No, you're not helping. Hey, get out of there. Get out of there. Okay. See, Sandberg, for some reason, it becomes an afterthought in a lot of conversations lately. So there is this video about this guy whose name is Benjamin, and he was like, he came to fight in Ukraine. Every single unit he's fought with had said that he literally ran away before he was ever at zero line, or if there was any mention of going to zero line, which is why you would be coming to fight, right? He would like turn around and leave. But so yesterday or today at some point, like, I didn't necessarily publicly want to like get into this, but like he posted a video of sleeping quarters and eating quarters of an entire brigade, based off of stolen footage that he took from a signal chat in between him and his fellow brothers in arms, if I can call them that. And he basically like he stole the video footage of missions that he wasn't on, and that video footage to Russians would indicate exactly where their bunker is and where their location is. And so he posted that online for everyone to see after posting a bunch of other videos. And to be fair, like, it just seems like, you know, a lot of attention seeking and a lot of behavior for likes. But at this point, this behavior for likes has turned into something that actually put an entire unit at danger of being like blown up with artillery, because Russians now know where their bunker is. And I'm not saying that in vain. Like, literally, Russian Telegram channels are now sending around that video of that unit and their location around Russian telegrams. And it's really fucked up because this person continues like making videos, and it's his personal vendetta against like the guys in that unit that he didn't like, that he says, like, you know, were mean to him for no reason. But to be fair, like, the guy is a coward who came to Ukraine looking for a book to write. And my interaction with him was, he was telling me that he wanted the video of him reuniting with his dog to go viral, which made me feel like he doesn't give a single shit about the dog. He wants the video to be viral, which you know, is kind of fucked up, because but like wasn't nearly as big of a deal until recently, right? Where all of this started making sense, and there are multiple conversations where he says that, like, oh, he's only going to Ukraine to look for clout. He wants to he's only going to Ukraine to look for clout. He wants to write a book. There is going to be like publishers lining up, and he can say whatever he wants to say, and everybody's going to believe him. If he says that he single-handedly shot down a MiG, like basically dumb Americans will believe him because they don't understand how the battlefield in Ukraine works. Meanwhile, this guy has really not been on the battlefield, at least in the last like 6 months that he's been to Ukraine. The SBU is at this point looking for him. Thanks, Dad. Also, there's just like, I mean, I've done my part. Like, I've given his name and his information to every single service that I know, because to me, it's like, you can be petty, you can have online drama, you can have disagreements with guys at the front, you know, like I'm sure that in an environment with a lot of testosterone and weapons and stuff, wild things happen, okay? But like, at this point, if this man is literally posting a location of not even the unit he's not fond of, but like he's doxing an entire brigade to Russians. He's sending pictures of his fellow, thank you. He's sending pictures of his fellow like unit mates, former unit mates, to track a Nazi merc. He's like doing all of this stuff, and then when he's confronted about it, he's like, I'm the victim, you know, someone didn't like me and they were mean to me, so I'm just like, I'm retaliating. It's like, dude, you're not retaliating at this point. Like, for me, you're fucking up the security of my country. You're like fucking it up really hardcore, and you just fucked over an entire front line, not even unit, like not a platoon, you fucked over a brigade, like a massive brigade, because they all have their, you know, their quarters and their accommodations everywhere. And he keeps saying that, like under Ukrainian law, you can post videos 90 days after it happened, not of active freaking units. What country was the guy from? America. He's from the United States of America. It's no longer retaliation. I mean, it was never retaliation. Like posting anything that, like, you might not like the guys you served with. You might have issues with individuals. You might have issues with multiple peoples in the unit. You might have issues with like a lot of that stuff, right? That's on you and that's okay. But at the same, like, I mean, that's drama, right? But once you start posting like locations of various military units and military infrastructure and doxing them and then saying that like, oh, you don't care or like whatever, or justifying it, like that's not all right. That's absolutely not all right, because at this point your ego and your like, oh, I'm butthurt, is not hurting just the guys you don't like. It is hurting a literal massive frontline brigade. And it is hurting Ukraine's war effort in general, because you just doxed a huge concentration of Ukrainian troops. And you doxed where they sleep, you doxed where they eat, you sleep, you like, what on earth? So yeah, so that's kind of like a little bit of drama that I've been kind of following the past couple of days. It's not really drama because it's like I've given this man's name and this man's information and like literally everything I have on him. And I know that he follows me, so he might be watching these lives. So if he does, I really fucking hope that you never try to cross the border back to Ukraine, because from my personal connections, your name is with literally every single instance of SBU imaginable, with multiple different units, and like you are gonna get fucked at the border, because you've you've broken so many Ukrainian laws. And the worst part of all of it is that this man goes online to cloud search, right, and to get likes and views and stuff, and he posts these like videos from Ukraine, basically painting himself as this like victim who is so innocent, and he's such a like, character that was in Ukraine and was just like trying to do good for Ukraine and stuff. And it's like, no, you weren't. No, you were doxing Ukrainian military and looking for stories to write a book about. So that's really fucked up. And this man also keeps saying that it's like someone's personal vendetta against him because like him and Sandberg over here don't get along. But that's so funny because, no one forced him to post these videos. No one forced him to dox an entire brigade. No one forced him to send pictures of multiple members of his former unit to track a Nazi merc. No one forced him to try and steal an optic from a dead soldier. No one forced him to do any of these things. And for some reason, every single unit that he's been in has only negative things to say about him. And every single time he's confronted with them, he says that it's a personal vendetta and everyone is out to get him. So he's always the victim and the people are always wrong. And he's just like playing this misunderstood person who is just like, who has these like noble intentions and stuff. But yeah, the reason why I was laughing at Sandberg here is because his literal naked photo, butt naked, was sent to track a Nazi merc, which is a Russian Telegram channel that tracks foreign military in Ukraine, like foreign military volunteers or foreigners within the AFU. So mostly Foreign Legion and English-speaking units of the AFU. And they obviously pass that information along to Russians. And at this point, this man has single-handedly basically doxed an entire unit of the armed forces of Ukraine that wasn't on track a Nazi merc already. So he's just basically sent in information like names, Instagrams, Facebooks, families, stuff like that, of like a ton of his former unit mates. Is he still in Poland? No, I believe he's in Serbia, which is a, Russia sympathizing country, and it's going to be much harder to do something about it because it doesn't have any extradition with Ukraine. If anyone is actually, here is a call that I'm going to put out. If anyone is in American law enforcement, and I can give you details name and addresses and everything that basically I have on this man. Please do let me know, because I will send you everything I have, and I think this man is should be put on on a no-fly list. And what he's doing is basically equivalent to terrorism, because he is doxing an allied forces locations. And if anyone, he's American, so that would be American law enforcement. If he wasn't American, then you wouldn't be approaching anything American. But since he is an American citizen, then you would, in fact, be approaching American law enforcement. You'd only approach your law enforcement if they had jurisdiction. Well, so they do. And the man is a multiple offender in a lot of different cases in Alaska. So he is, in fact, they do in fact have jurisdiction. Also, doxing an allied force, which Ukraine is to the United States, is within the US jurisdiction and within FBI and CIA both competence. So please don't try to tell me what to report and where to report. But yeah, if any one of you is in law enforcement or in agencies like that, please do let me know privately, or DM me. There is an email in my link in bio. You also know how to find me on Instagram and Twitter, and I respond to a lot of messages. I haven't been in the past couple of days because I've been dying in bed. But yeah, so that's the situation. And I think that's a huge offense. And I think that people like that, it's here's the thing: he might not be doing that because he wants to dox Ukrainian military. He's doing that because he doesn't like the guys who serve in there, because he's butthurt that they didn't get along or something, or they didn't think he was a massive hero. But that's the thing. It's people like that are dangerous, because if you're stupid enough to go and dox, or if you're malicious enough to go and and endanger an entire brigade of people at the front because you are butthurt over some guys not liking you, that's insane. That's insane. Actually insane. Yeah, so that's sort of my, thank you so much. Thank you, Ray. So that's kind of that's where I'm at with that. And yeah, and I've from my end, I've reported it everywhere that it could have been reported. And obviously there are a lot of people like that. Well, maybe not every single one of them, gives out locations of full military bases at the front line. But there are a lot of people who steal footage and dox stuff like that. So the SBU has a really long list. The SBU has a really long list. Okay, Sakura, he also is scamming. Alrighty. He's also scamming the, what's his face, the VA, the Veterans Affairs, for money, because he is basically faking the severity of his disability to get money to travel around and, war tourist and do things like that. So yes, there are quite a few things that are within American jurisdiction, because this guy is committing quite a few crimes, both internationally and in the United States. So here's the thing: instead of lecturing me on something that I might know more about than you do, how about don't do that, because that's kind of inappropriate and rude. And if I've asked for American law enforcement people, and I've asked for them particularly for a reason, then I know why I'm asking for that, okay? And it sounds quite demeaning and annoying when someone doesn't know all the information, listens to a few bits that you're willing to share on the internet, and is literally telling you what you're doing right or wrong. Well, if you work in that field, then you'd probably be quite alarmed that someone is trying. Grumpy, don't do that. Grumpy, that's excessive. Please stop over blocking people. But so basically, if you work in that, nice to meet you, DJ Ukraine. If you work in that field, then it would probably ring a bell for you if someone's scamming the VA, right? But anyways, hi Kurt, also hi Brandy, and hi Nicole, and Armin. Armin is up with the quote of the day. Did you file a report with the FBI? Yes, we did. So on YouTube here, because I'm also simultaneously doing this on YouTube, there is Armin, and Armin sends a quote of the day every single time that he watches this live, and which is almost every day. And these quotes are always very on point, and they're very great, and I really personally really adore them. So I'm going to read it out. Bitterness imprisons life. Love releases it. Bitterness paralyzes life. Love empowers it. Bitterness sours life. Love sweetens it. Bitterness sickens life. Love heals it. Bitterness blinds life. Love anoints its eyes. Harry Emerson Fosdick. The man is bitter to the point of insanity. Hopefully, he's arrested soon. So I really do love Armin's quotes because they always very much fit the subject. I guess like today's is a little different than normal because we were talking about someone being bitter and someone's actions like that. But normally they're quite related to the ongoing events in Ukraine and the war and Russia and Russian aggression and Russian people and stuff like that. But it's a fantastic quote. And also, Armin, I believe Armin is self-proclaimed as the quote guy on one of his social medias. I won't say which one because I don't know if he wants me to, but he is in fact a quote guy. And I'm very fascinated by how many quotes Armin can just, get out of his back pocket. So yeah. That's kind of that. If if you don't want to lecture me on what to report and where, but you do have suggestions and ideas, please do reach out to me on Instagram or through email, and I will certainly respond to you, and we can discuss this situation because I would love help on it. I absolutely hate the fact that there is someone just looking for fame and profiteering off the war, and they're doing it so publicly and also trying to position themselves as a victim. Also, I need to go turn off my washer, or actually put it on like a drying mode if you don't mind, because it's going to continue making that noise and it's going to drive me crazy. It might not drive you crazy, but it's not an alarm. No, it's a washer dryer thing. So every time it's done with the cycle, it starts letting me know that it's done with the cycle. So give me 1 second. Oh, it's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy too. So let me go put it on like a dryer mode and I'll be back. Also, like, you don't understand, I'm from New York. The fact that I have a washer that has a dryer function in it, like the fact that I have a washer indoors and I can just wash things, like I no longer get upset when my dog pees on something. In fact, she hasn't been peeing on anything. And I'm just kind of like, really, bitch? So when I had to walk like a couple of blocks to the laundromat, you were like gung-ho on peeing on my pillows and doing all of these things. And now that I have a freaking washer and a dryer indoors, now you decided this is not a thing you like to do? Thanks, Cindy. That's great. But anyways, I do have a washer and dryer. So this is like peak of just being so happy with life for me. So I'm going to go attend to my washer and dryer, and I'm going to be back in 2 seconds. So yes, now my lovely little dog doesn't do anything. Okay, and when I lived in New York and I had no washer and dryer in unit, because in Ukraine it's hard to find an apartment where you don't have a washer and dryer in unit. In New York, it's hard to find one with it. Like it has to be like a luxury building or whatnot, And yeah, and now she's decided that she's done peeing on things. And I'm like, thanks, bud. That's very sweet of you. And timely. Okay, we're gonna dive in to the news about Ukraine. But before that, I will remind you that we are fundraising for, so for now, I didn't permanently move to Ukraine. So people keep asking this question, did you move to Ukraine? So I didn't permanently move to Ukraine. It's kind of like permanently moving back to Ukraine during a war is really not the best idea because you really never know what's going to happen. So I didn't permanently move here. I am planning on staying here most of the time. I do have to go back to the US once in a while because of my green card. And also because I have so much there. But I am, I'm going to be here for a couple of months and then I'm going to go back to the US for like a month or so. And that's kind of how it's going to be this year. I hope that to be in Ukraine more and in the US less. Okay, I would like to go to Ukraine one day. I'm sure you will. Also, someone was writing something in Russian, and I don't speak Russian, bud. So yeah, yeah, I know. For 12 months continuous. Hi, Smiley. Hi, Hydrocarbon. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me remind you that we are fundraising for 6 DJI Mavic 3 Pro drones for a third separate assault brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. And that fundraiser is running. If you are on TikTok, you can go to my link in bio, and there is a link to the fundraiser. And it's you can donate through PayPal there, through Venmo, through Revolut, through Monobank, through all other means, and or if you have donated to my PayPal or Venmo before, you can just do that and just write that it's for the drones. We are currently at $3,905. Which is almost 2 drones. It's like $1,000 shy from being 2 DJI drones. And if you are on Hi Niels, and if you are on YouTube, then here is the comment from Grumpy that I'm gonna pin with the fundraiser link. So that's that. I don't speak, I believe that is Mandarin. I do not speak Mandarin, so I don't know what you're saying. So yeah, so basically if you'd like to donate to the drones for third separate assault initiative, they are, the link is in my link in bio on TikTok. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and every donation that comes during the stream is announced, and they are normally posted also. Well, so every day on the stream, I announce the amount. I normally also post it on Twitter, but it's been quite a weekend. So if you go to my link in bio, which is beacons.ai over here, so you click here. Oh gosh. You click here and you go down here. This is the fundraiser. And you can donate through all of these methods. There is a PayPal link, a Monobank link, a Revolut link, and there is also copy paste over here that explains to you what the money is for and what it's going to be going towards and how it's going to be, what's going to happen with it basically. So if you'd like to donate, your donation is going to be announced. Every donation that comes during the stream is announced. Everything else is just summarized. Normally I do frequent posts on Twitter, but I haven't really been getting any donations outside of the streams. So there hasn't really been a need to post follow-ups on Twitter because there has not really been anything coming in when it's not stream time. So there were a couple of questions that I missed. So let me see. So how is Vasil? Vasil is good. He's just working, and he is, he's great. He's doing very good. You're supporting direct war effort, dude. I live in Ukraine. I'm Ukrainian born and raised, and our direct war effort is defending ourselves from Russia. And if you think I'm a con artist, then just block me and move on. That's all. Sure. Oh, you're supporting direct war effort? Yes, because reconnaissance drones are direct war effort, and also it's okay to support refugees, right? But it's not okay to support the armed forces that prevent them from becoming refugees. But it's okay to buy water and blankets. I'm glad you're both doing well. I've been a silent follower for a long time. I remember you, Coffee Mom. Like we've interacted a couple of times. I remember your profile picture. But it's really good to see you. Okay, so we are gonna. Oh my gosh, Bandera Stepan Andreevich followed me, and I wonder if that is a Ukrainian who's Russian speaking or a Russian who's trolling. But Bandera Stepan Andreevich is we all know who that is. Do you think you'll be having Wikipedia back on? Yes, I will be having Wikipedia back on. The problem with having Wikipedia on is that Wikipedia from Azov, so Vlad Zhayvronok, not Wikipedia, the website, is that I need to be closer to where he is because he's very busy, and I am going to go ahead and diagnose him with ADHD because he just does like a lot of things at the same time, and he's always like overwhelmed and busy and just doing 55 different things, and he wants to see you and he wants to meet you and he wants to do things with you, and he says yes to everything, but he's like just not there. And so unless you are there to oh, hi Georgia. Hi Georgia. Hi Sakartvelo. So basically, if you're not there to literally like walk him in hand, he's not gonna do it. So when I'm in Kyiv in February is when I'm going to, because when I was there, hi Christina, because when I was there, it was super easy to like get him to do things. It's just not easy when I'm like when I am at a different place. I wonder if he knows Roman. He probably knows of Roman, but I don't know. They served so Wikipedia is from Azov, and Roman is from Third Separate Assault. These are two separate things. They were in very separate locations too. I don't think they would have crossed paths. Also, Roman joined the military, I believe, with the full-scale invasion, and Wikipedia has been a professional soldier beforehand. So while Roman joined the military, Wikipedia was probably already in captivity in Russia. So I don't know if they know each other. So yeah. So also anyone who wants to, so here is a little rule of thumb. I don't tell people what to do with their lives, and I don't tell people what to do with their language, but I don't speak Russian, and there is no indication anywhere on my profile that I speak Russian. My first language is Ukrainian. I'm speaking English on this live, so I find it so goddamn disrespectful when people come in, especially Ukrainian people who know how to speak Ukrainian, come into my live and they're like starting to write to me in Russian, like, bro, what makes you think I speak Russian? It says I'm Ukrainian on my profile and all of my videos are in English. I haven't spoken Russian in a single fucking video. Why do you think I speak Russian? Please stop speaking Russian to me. I'm from Lviv, for fuck's sake. Like, my native language is Ukrainian. And like, I find it so weird that it's like a normal default thing. Like, it's the second year of the full-scale invasion. It doesn't say anywhere on my profile that I'm in any way connected to Russia or Russian language. Why do you continuously keep insisting on writing to me in Russian? I don't fucking speak it. Like, I'm from the most westernmost city in this country. Like, I went to a Ukrainian school. I literally have never taken a single class of Russian language in my life. That's actually God honest truth. My grandparents speak Russian. I don't. Yeah, but see, that's fine. Ultimately, Frost, like that's totally fine. But that doesn't, like, your wife speaks Russian because she was only taught Russian. I don't speak Russian, nor do I ever indicate that I do. So when someone comes into my live and it says I'm Ukrainian, right? And they know I'm Ukrainian, obviously, and they choose to speak Russian to me, it's weird to me because, like, dude, I'm literally talking about Ukraine and Ukrainian war effort. And while you might not know whether I speak Russian or Ukrainian because most of my videos are in English, why do you start your conversation with me in Russian? Wouldn't default language for a Ukrainian be Ukrainian? I think so, or it should be. Yes, it will. And also, we just got a donation. On a better note, for the third separate assault brigade, we got $25, and from Scott. You know what? I'm just gonna say your first name and not say your last name. That way, I'm not actually doxing you, and no one knows who you are because your name might not be the same on your handle. And it might not be the same because I always feel so bad because I don't know if people want me to announce their names or not. And some people very, very much don't want that. So, how about if you don't want your name to be announced, you tell me. And if you don't mind, then by default, I'm just going to say your first name. So, thank you, Scott. And thank you, Kat. Does this thing work? Just checking. Okay, so we received $35 total from Scott and Kat. And that makes it $3,940 for drones. So now that I've stopped yelling, also that medication really does help because I don't know, those of you who have seen me yesterday and the night before that, like you remember I was literally dying. Like my battery was so low. Привет. What are the most recent updates? That's what I'm going to be talking about right now. I will respond to, so this is a very popular question and I'm not surprised it's popular, but so very often Ukrainians ask me how I learned English and whether I give English lessons and stuff like that. I'm not a teacher. I'm not an educator of any kind in that way. So no, I don't give English language lessons. I've never done that. It's really not my cup of tea. I don't know how to teach people a language. So no, I don't do that. Short answer is, first of all, I speak 6 languages. Languages come easy for me. Some people are good at math. Some people are good at like coding. Some people are good at music. I'm good at languages, and I'm good at like pronunciations. I do voiceovers for United 24. I host a podcast. So naturally, I've discovered recently actually that I'm very good at like, making noises and voices and stuff like that. I can do a bunch of different accents. I can kind of talk like that too. So like, I'm very good at morphing my voice. And I speak English since I was 4 or something like that. I learned it from yes, hydrocarbon. Well, 5 now. Okay. I speak 5 languages now because I know 6, but I only speak 5. And I speak English since I was 4, and I learned it in Lviv here, but I learned it from a native speaker. So technically, I'm almost like a native speaker. So I don't know how to recommend someone. I don't know. I can't recommend to someone to learn like. I don't know what advice to give you because I really didn't have to sort of do that at an older age, right? I did it as a kid, and kids are sponges; they absorb everything. So yeah, but я не розмовляю французькою, but I can say je ne parle pas français. What 6 languages? So I speak Ukrainian, I speak Polish, I speak English, I speak German, and I speak Italian. I do not, however, anymore speak Russian, and I don't want to speak Russian, and because I actually am looking for a 6th language to learn, but I haven't had the time, but I really want to see if I can learn a language now, because most of these languages I've learned when I was younger. But I do think that I have a pretty good feel for languages, so I have a base there as well, especially with romantic languages. Hi, Rebecca's. And I kind of want to see, I was thinking, Dobry wieczór. Dobry wieczór, Kraków. Japanese would be fun. No, okay, I'm not saying launch myself into a very different language group. I'm thinking maybe Portuguese is a cool language to learn. I saw that today was Old Orthodox New Year. Okay, so it's not like an Orthodox New Year, it's Old New Year. So you basically say farewell to the previous year. So it's not like people used to celebrate New Year's on this day. No, it's like it's a farewell to the old year. So it's called Old New Year, and my family doesn't really ever celebrate it. And now that we're not necessarily super connected, now that we're like stepping away from all of these like Soviet Russian traditions, we're really not, we're really not doing that. Arabic is cool too. But yeah, I was thinking maybe like Portuguese, I was thinking start small, like ease my feet into it. Lithuanian, yeah, Lithuanian could be cool. Would Bulgarian be on that list? It's a sad with the history, but my understanding it's similar. Yeah, Bulgarian is similar. Actually, Bulgarian is pretty similar to Russian. And I mean, like, so I don't want to learn Slavic languages, like I want to learn something, either romantic languages or something completely Nordic languages, like Gaelic. I would freaking learn Gaelic. Like I want to actually, like, I would want to learn something ridiculous, to be honest. And by ridiculous, I don't mean like, oh my gosh, it's so ridiculous. I mean like something very, like, very out of reach, learn Swedish, French. Yeah, so I took up French. I mean, French could be like I have some base for French, but that's the thing. I feel like I don't, like I don't speak enough French, but I have a base for French, so it's sort of like I'm not that interested, which is stupid, which makes no sense. But I'm sort of like I just want to, I want to take on something completely new. But yeah, okay. Anyways, Russian media reported a mass blackout in Rostov-on-Don. Also, there have been reports from various cities in Russia that, like, it's so cold, their ceilings are cracking, and the snow is like falling into their apartments, which is insane. But just a normal day in Russia, and it's been really cold in Russia in the past like couple of months. And they have no heating, they have no hot water, they have no anything of that sort. And a lot of them are like writing, they're writing these notes to the government on their balconies on these like huge poster boards that say we are freezing, because they call their their local like electric providers and stuff like that, and no one's really reacting to their cries for help. And you would think that this is somewhere so you would think this is somewhere like far distant, like far away in Russia. It isn't. A lot of these places are like not that far away from Moscow. Winters are pretty harsh in Moscow. Winters are pretty harsh in St. Petersburg. Like Russia, the way that it's located, it's, yes, Siberia is obviously the worst. That's like just freaking Antarctic, but comparable to. But Russia in general is a very cold place. And realistically, if you get out of like Moscow, St. Petersburg, Yekaterinburg, and those like bigger cities, and I don't mean most bigger cities. I mean actually mostly St. Petersburg and Moscow, because the other big cities they're not very developed, but they're just not nearly as shit as everything else. Like you drive 50 kilometers out of Moscow and you would think that you are far deep in like no man's land. There are people living without roofs, without electricity. Have you ever been to, so if any of you have ever been to Baltimore, there is this neighborhood in Baltimore that's like that 10 years ago or 9 or 8 years ago was one of the, I think, 8th most dangerous neighborhood in America. Hi, TDS. So it was 8th most dangerous neighborhood in America. And when I went there, I drove past it, and there was this situation where people would live in these buildings without roofs. You would see like there is no roof in a building, and then there is a TV there somehow. There is like spider webs everywhere, and it's really just a very, very crazy neighborhood. So that's most of Russia, if you are not in Moscow or St. Petersburg. So yeah, they have been reporting power outages, blackouts, snow falling through the roof, frozen, like building entrances and hallways and stuff. It's like raining inside of their apartments. And I mean, like, you would think like, oh, these people are finding these one of a kind sort of scenarios and trying to pose them or paint them as if it's like a normal thing. No, these are very, 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 very widespread occurrences. This is not a one of a kind scenario. Like, obviously, you could probably find that in Ukraine somewhere too, where, you know, someone's roof wasn't fixed, or like they did a botched job. Like, you can find that in the US. Like, weird stuff happens, but this is such a normal thing in Russia. Like, that's just what happens to them all the time because no one gives a single shit. So yeah, hi cheesy. Baltimore do be rough. Yes, Baltimore is pretty rough. European farmers called on Brussels to limit the import of Ukrainian products. 6 European agricultural organizations have published a joint declaration calling for restrictions on the import of Ukrainian products into the EU. Organizations propose to introduce mechanisms that would help determine the destination of Ukrainian products and ensure they get there, and also introduce import thresholds based on the level of average values for 2021-2022. In the spring of 2022, the European Union temporarily suspended customs duties on imports from Ukraine. Now farmers believe that this threatens their survival. So I've touched on this a while back, explaining why this is such a big deal for farmers in the EU. First of all, Ukraine is a huge country, and we also have one of the largest. Oh my gosh, sorry, Cindy is so cute. I just saw her and she's adorable. Ukraine has one of the largest quantities of, like one of the largest square mileage of world's richest black soil. It's 30% of world's richest black soil. So Ukraine is like this sort of country that, you know, one of the and I'm going to be very blunt here right now, and it's reality, right? Russia's always wanted Ukraine because Ukraine has all of these resources. We have access to sea, we have mines, we have natural elements, we have grains, we have vegetables, we have everything. We have metals, we have stones, we have gas, we have oil, we have everything. We just happen to be in this like place where everything is here. And so Russia has always wanted it because they want the resources. But here is the thing, so does the West in a way. It's like, it's not profitable for anyone, for Ukraine to be an independent country that that supports itself. So I do think that a lot of these countries, in a way, the reason why they're stalling, the reason why they don't want to give Ukraine everything Ukraine needs, the reason why there is so much kind of like back and forth and so many, and we're not like, the reason why we're being helped but also not helped enough, right, is because like it's not necessarily super convenient, right? And for instance, when Ukraine gets into the EU, it's going to be really bad for most farmers in most of the EU because so Ukraine raises and produces enough chicken meat in one state in Ukraine, like in one oblast, for the entirety of the EU. And that also happens with a lot of other produce and with a lot of other like materials and a lot of other natural resources and stuff like that. Can someone block this troll, please? I'm just so tired of them. Also, hi, there's so many of you trollos. You know what I love? You think you're pissing me off, but the funniest thing about all of this is that like I love when there are lots of trolls because I know I'm doing something right because I'm pissing them off and they're sitting there and they're watching. Is that on TikTok? Yes. It is, of course. all the trolls are always on TikTok. They never come in here. They only come in here when I've blocked them enough times on TikTok. Then they try looking for me in other places. And they're like, yeah, I'm Ukrainian. And it's like, bud, you have 8 accounts and I've blocked you 8 times. And now you're on YouTube on 10 accounts that you switch within 10 seconds. Yeah, you're not Ukrainian, you're a Russian bot. Trolls just feed the algorithm. Exactly. Which is a very, you know what I love? Trolls literally disappear when I start mentioning fundraisers. So here we go again. If you would like to donate for drones for 3rd Separate Assault Brigade, here's the link right here, right there. Grumpy pinned it on YouTube. And if you would like to do that on TikTok, then you can do that through my link in bio. It's beacons.ai/fundraiser. Or you can go to the link in bio and you can go to the fundraiser. You can read everything about it. And every donation helps 5, 10, 15, 20, however many dollars. No donation is too small and no donation is too big. And every single donation is going to be announced and on live. And I'm going to give you the tally, which at this time we are at $3,940. And that is about $1,000 short from 2 DJI Mavic drones, which are great reconnaissance drones, which are super helpful. And this fundraiser has been running for a while, and I haven't really been super, I haven't been pushing it as much as I normally do because I've been sick and I've been traveling back to Ukraine, and it's just been like, it's been a bit of a rough time, and I have a food poisoning. So, if you have the ability to donate, Liv, she just woke up from she just like barked in her sleep. Baba. If you have the ability to donate, please do. And what other drones are used? There are many. There are also FPV drones. I mean, there are tons of different drones. There are combat drones, which you're not going to be able to buy just like that. There are first-person view drones. Yes, I am in Ukraine. There are oh my gosh, I don't know. So DJI Mavics are like the best drones. There's also this other company, and I constantly keep forgetting its name, but honestly, like, different drones are good for different uses. Does the same kind of fundraiser. It's awesome. Yeah, he's good. He's great. I really appreciate him. There are quite a few foreigners that and quite a few like YouTube creators that do that, and that's really cool. Okay, someone asked me to show them my dogs. So let me just quickly do that on YouTube, and then I'll do that on TikTok. Because Sydney is so cute. Sorry, Sydney is being super cute right now, and I don't know what to do about that. Okay, Sin, look at her. Baba. Sorry, she's adorable. This is Sydney, and then this is Bud. Okay, well, she's too busy barking at whatever it is. She doesn't live. I do use Visa and MasterCard, but like, you can't really transfer just straight to Visa or MasterCard. You have to use like an application like PayPal or Venmo or something, which I have both. But let me show you here as well, because obviously, Liv, there's no one there. Excuse you. Do you want to go back to sleep? And this is Sin. Yeah, so that's that. Okay. Liv, honey bunnies, Liv. You can donate straight to Monobank if you would like, and you can use a card for that if that works for you. And yes, these are Sluva and Cinny, and they are very freaking funny and adorable and crazy, and they're just something. And Liv likes to bark at everything. Oh, hi, Netlin. Sweden is actively constructing submarines to patrol the Baltic Sea, fortifying NATO's eastern borders against potential Russian naval operations, as reported by Politico. I mean, that makes sense. Honestly, I don't have a lot of commentary to that because Sweden and Finland and the Baltics. Oh my gosh, sorry, I have to take a picture of Cindy because she's so cute. sorry. 1 sec. Cindy, Liv, stop it. Oh my gosh. You're so cute. Look at that. Look at that. Look how cute. You're just like, oh, Baba, you're so adorable. I'm sorry. You're so cute, Baba. Sorry. Cindy, you're such a little model. When are you going to start making money? When are you going to start your modeling career? Oh my gosh, we got another donation, and it is, let me tell you, Michael sent, so it can rain drones. It's raining drones. Hallelujah, it's raining drones. So we got a $50 donation from Michael. Thank you very much. And we are at $3,990 for the drone fundraiser for 3rd Separate Assault Brigade. Why aren't you on the front line? Why don't you have a life? Why aren't you trying to fix a toilet right now? Is it possible to send donations for humanitarian aid? Yes, Razum for Ukraine does humanitarian aid. They do IFACs for combat medics, so the people that patch up soldiers. But also, here's the thing, like, I do want to say, can I ask, I genuinely want to find out, for those of you who are not comfortable with donating for military needs, can I ask you why? Could you tell me, like, for instance, like, you're not donating for weapons, right? Like, none of us civilians ever raise money for weapons. We're not able to. Trust me, we would. We need those. But also, thank you, JJ. Thank you so much for gifting a membership on YouTube. But for those of you who are not comfortable donating to the military, can you please tell me why? Because in Ukraine, for instance, right, most of the people who ended up in the military are civilians. We don't strike Russian civilians. We don't kill anyone. We repel the invasion. And the people that are on the front lines today, most of them were literally in IT, ballet dancers. Like, this is not propaganda. It's real, because we did not have enough of a military to repel an invasion this large. And so when you donate for the military, your money never ends up buying weapons. Your money ends up buying protective gear. Your money ends up buying reconnaissance drones. Your money ends up buying socks. Your money ends up buying plate carriers. Your money ends up buying, hand warmers. Like, what have we done? Thermals, vehicles, to get wounded soldiers out of the battlefield. I really do highly encourage you to listen to my episode of Ukraine War Brief, which is a podcast I host. It's available in my link in bio. Otherwise, you can look up Ukraine War Brief on Google, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, wherever you like listening to podcasts. And there is an episode with Daniel Ridley. It's probably like 10 episodes back. So Daniel Ridley is the founder of the Trident Defense Initiative, which trains soldiers in demining, in drone operations, and first and foremost in field medicine, so combat medics, right? So he talks about the importance of all of this gear and the importance of all of these things on the battlefield, because so many people die, because Ukraine is not Afghanistan. Ukraine is not American military. It's not a NATO military. We don't have evac helicopters. We don't have evac mobiles. We don't have any of these things. And a lot of people end up dying because we don't have armored personnel carriers. And when you think armored personnel carrier, it sounds super military to you, but that's actually just an armored vehicle that helps you evacuate wounded people from the battlefield, is one of its main missions. So I do highly encourage you to look that up. And you say, I just feel like humanitarian aid is really needed right now. Well, so actually most of the aid that is needed right now is aid for the military, like, genuinely. And I don't mean yes, our military needs arms and stuff like that, but I mean it's winter. So a lot of them need winter uniforms. A lot of them need socks. A lot of them need, thank you, Ashley, and thank you, Not a Botter. A lot of them need gear. A lot of them need, thermal devices. A lot of them need protection from being seen by thermal devices. So, in fact, the military needs it the most. And when you think about it, like the military really is civilians, because, for instance, my classmate, a person that I know since elementary school, that I've known since both of us were 6 years old, he got drafted like 2 days ago, and he is now in Mykolaiv. And tomorrow he's going to be joining the unit, and he had just taken an oath. He was a volunteer. He's a philosophy major person. He graduated philosophy from one of the leading universities in Ukraine. And what he's been doing since the beginning of the full-scale invasion is he's been volunteering with an American organization, and he's been collecting humanitarian aid, and he's been planning demining projects, and he's been doing like a lot of work like that. And his background is philosophy. He's at the front. But when buildings, for instance, are destroyed, people are suffering or injured. Yes, but the people that come to them to help them are medics in the military, and the medics are in the military. So, for instance, you want to donate. So a lot of Ukrainian companies and a lot of Ukrainian stores and stuff like that will donate, bandages, and will donate food, and will donate water and stuff to refugees. Or to internally displaced persons. But if you are talking about like help and stuff like that, and people being helped, then military and the medics are going to be the first people on the scene. So first responders. So when you donate to the military, you very often donate to first responders as well. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just trying to explain the situation. Also, you guys, we got two new donations, both totaling together, let me tell you, 25 and 60, so $85. Together, it totaled $85. So we are at $4,075. So that is less than $1,000 short from 2 drones. Look at you guys. So $4,075 is where we are at. Thank you, Charles. And thank you, I think it was Ashley. Let me see, because I just saw a little notification and I think it started with A, but I might be wrong. So let me check. Oh, I need to turn on VPN. Of course I do. Yeah, no, of course. I mean, I do. I think that these things are good to explain, because it's like, if you're not here, or if you're not exposed to it in your daily life, then how would you know? Ashley, yes, thank you, Ashley, and thank you, Not a Botter. You guys rock. You are awesome. Okay. Canadian company Rochelle Defense reported that it currently has more than 100 Senator armored vehicles of various modifications, and they're ready for delivery to various different countries. Liv. Hey, bud. Liv. Hey, Liv. Give me 1 second. I think my dad is here. 1 sec, you guys. And we got another donation for $20. 1 second. Tata? What's up? Yeah, guys, go away. Go ahead. Hey, 1 sec, you guys. 1 sec. Я бы нанимаю типа. Hey dogs, can you? Hey! Get away! Go in. Liv. Hey guys. My neighbor came over and my washer is leaking, and so it's leaking off of his ceiling. So I need a second, okay? Just like a moment. Liv, stop. Can you not be anymore? Hi. Hello. Well, so my washer has issues, and it's always had issues, and now it started leaking. And so, for that matter, I had just been visited by my downstairs neighbor who was like, "Hey, it's raining down my ceiling. Can I see what's up in your bathroom?" And I'm like, sure. So he has now seen what's up in my bathroom, and I need to call a washer, a mechanic tomorrow, or like a plumber, whatever. Yeah, but he was very nice about it. To be honest, if it was raining down my ceiling, I'd be like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "Hi, nice to meet you. I'm your downstairs neighbor. Can I see what's going on in your bathroom?" He wiped it too, and I was like, "You don't have to do that. I can do it." And he's like, "No, it's okay. I'll do it." And I was like, "That's very nice." Okay, well, where were we? Okay, so the Canadian company Rochelle Defense reported that it currently has more than 100 Senator armored vehicles of various modifications ready for delivery to different countries. One of those countries is Ukraine, but previously people had thought that all of these vehicles are going to Ukraine, and it's not all of them. It's just some. Grumpy, is he single? Grumpy, he's like older than my dad. Okay? He's older than my dad. Grumpy is asking me if my neighbor is single. Grumpy, are you interested? Because in my case, he's older than my dad. In your case, he's younger than you. So yes, he might be single. I don't know. But while I was over there trying to figure out the situation with my machine, Jason and Kenny both donated. Wait, was it? Yes. Was it? 1 second. It might have been 1 second. I might be. Yeah. So Jason and Kenny both donated some total of $50, which brings us to $4,125, which is less than $800 away from 2 DJI Mavic 3 Pro drones. And if you don't know what I'm talking about because you were stuck here waiting for me to come back while I was trying to not flood my neighbor, I am talking about a fundraiser for drones for 3rd Separate Assault Brigade. And the link to those drones is in my bio. To the fundraiser to drones is in my bio, and you can donate through Revolut, you can donate through Venmo, you can donate through PayPal, you can donate through Monobank. The Monobank and Revolut is going to be counted into the total on Twitter that I post because it doesn't show me notifications immediately, and the PayPal and Venmo donations are going to be announced on stream. Let me pick up Liv, and you can look at her, and I can pick her up, and she can like stop being so crazy because she is very unhappy and she doesn't like people in this apartment. She doesn't like people, period. She likes doggies. Wait, she likes doggies. She doesn't like people. She likes me. Which is quite strange, because I'm not that likable, right, Baba? For some reason, you like me. And I don't know why. I'm not that likable. If you would stop barking and yelling. Do your dogs understand both English and Ukrainian? This one understands Ukrainian, the other one understands English, and I don't know what to do with it. Like, I really don't know what to do with it. Liv? Hi, Baba. Hi, Baba. Hi, Baba. Baba. Okay, go. Go, bud. Listen, I just wanted you to feel better because you were stressed. Okay? But you are fat, and you are very heavy, and I can't hold you very, very long. And I'm not fat shaming her. She does need to lose weight. The vet told me. She's like, she's a bubba. She's quite big. She's big boned and she's overweight, so alrighty. Now, telephone book tour. Bum. Okay, so So Russia has been turning off heat in Russian prison colonies. So the Russian prisoners are more willing to go fight in Ukraine because, I mean, it's cold and they're not happy. So might as well. That's a tactic if I've ever seen one. Sweden is going to increase production of 155 millimeter ammunition for Ukraine, an agreement between the Defense Materiel Administration and ammunition manufacturer NAMO. Oh, NAMO. In Roman dialect of Italian, NAMO means noi andiamo, which means let's go. And it's NAMO, so I mean it's very different. I mean it's written very different, but still it's like NAMO. NAMO. It's noi andiamo. The military-industrial complex of Bulgaria operates around the clock, with a substantial portion of its production being supplied to Ukraine, as reported by Voice of America. Bulgaria provides Ukraine with Soviet-era weapons that remain in operational condition, requiring no additional training for the military. Additionally, there is a continuous 24-hour production of ammunition. Bulgarian Defense Minister Todor Tagarev expressed his belief that, with adequate support from the civilized world, Ukraine has the potential to secure victory and restore its territorial integrity. Yay, Sweden. Yes, and yay, Bulgaria. Did you tell your neighbor it's actually raining drones? Imagine this typical Galician Ukrainian, from Halichina man comes in and he's like, hey, sorry, it's raining from my ceiling. I think something is leaking in your bathroom. And you're like, it's raining drones. Hallelujah, it's raining drones. And he's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm here because, there is actually a problem. It is literally raining in my apartment because of something that's going on in your bathroom. And you're like, raining? It's raining drones. Hallelujah. And then this dude is just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to call the police or something and have them deal with that. Just like, hey, sorry, I don't speak Ukrainian. I'm just a dumbass American. Raining? What's raining? Ceiling. I haven't learned that word yet. Zaluzhnyy worked for several days with the military on the front line. The commander-in-chief, together with the chief of the general staff, Serhiy Shaptala, worked for several days in the areas of responsibility of the operational strategic groups of the Tavria and Odessa troops. They also worked out in detail the issues regarding the situation in the Black Sea. Let the bodies hit the floor. I eat crayons and everything. You're a Marine. That's a feature you guys have. I get it. But yeah, I mean, hey, actually, interestingly, and well, I guess it's not really that interesting or not that surprising, but so in a lot of situations in which I don't want to interact with someone, people on the street or someone annoying me or something like that, I just literally start talking to them in English, and I say that I don't speak Ukrainian, and they just don't talk to me. Older people, especially, sometimes when you're at a supermarket or you're at a store or something and there's an old person and they're not they don't need help. No, there have been people that are old and very sweet and they were asking me to help them read the prices because they don't have their glasses and stuff. That's fine. I've helped. But if it's just someone trying to have a conversation about nothing and I'm just not in the mood, I literally I'm just excuse me, what? And they're just and they repeat their thing and I'm just oh, I'm so sorry, I don't speak Ukrainian. And they move on and I move on, and they're probably ooh, American. And I'm yay, I'm not going to be talking about the weather for 35 minutes. I'm not trying, to be fair, I do talk to anytime an old person needs help, I help them. Anytime anyone really needs help, I help them. But one thing that I can't do is I can't do awkward small talk in a store with random people who just want to talk about the weather. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I say I'm American. Or like those people in Khreshchatyk and Kyiv that try to sell you those like bracelets, the blue and yellow bracelets, and they say that they're from like a charity. They're not. That's how they're making money for themselves. So I just speak English, and they try to like explain something in English, and it's like very very broken, and I'm just like, sorry, bro, dumb American don't get you. Sorry, I'm an American refugee. Oh my gosh, yes, refuge. Yesterday, for those of you guys who weren't here, there was some troll who came in and was like, "Why? How you so rich and refuge?" He meant like, how are you a refugee and rich? I don't know what made him feel like I'm rich. I think it's the Nespresso again. It might be the Nespresso again, or like I don't know, the presence of electricity in my apartment. But I was like, he thought I was in America. And I was like, well, honey bunny, first of all, I'm in Ukraine. And he's like, I don't think that's true. And I'm like, well, you can think whatever you want. I'm in Ukraine. Secondly, yes, I mean, there are a lot of American refugees in Ukraine these days. A lot. Go on Tinder or Bumble. So many American refugees. But yes, it's a joke, obviously. In Davos, the fourth meeting of the Ukrainian peace formula involves 81 countries and international organizations, an increase from the previous 66 in Malta. Participants include 39 from Europe, 18 from Asia, 12 from Africa, 6 from South America, 3 from North America, and 2 from Oceania. Americans come for the healthcare to Ukraine. Yes, I mean, listen, everyone comes for healthcare to Ukraine, but Ukraine has really good healthcare compared to the US. The growing participation reflects a joint effort for a peace plan. Switzerland's swift involvement is appreciated. The focus on the world order and justice, addressing the consequences of Russian attacks in Ukraine. Ceasefires alone won't end aggression. Russians seek dominance. Ukraine aims for peace, ensuring survival, integrity, sovereignty, and development. In 2 years, Ukrainian forces reclaimed over 50% of occupied territory, securing the Black Sea. The peace must restore international law and Ukraine's territorial integrity. The Davos meeting builds on Malta's discussions, focusing on points like withdrawal of Russian troops and environmental security. Plans include a global peace summit and thematic conferences to finalize roadmaps. Special sessions in Davos will delve into food security and humanitarian aspects of the war. Gratitude is expressed to Klaus Schwab, Bert Brandt, and Ignacio Cassis for their support. An espresso culture. A meeting of advisors on the peace formula took place in Davos. This time, representatives from 39 countries were attended, as we talked earlier, and this meeting was building on the third meeting in Malta, where the initial 5 points of the Ukrainian peace formula were addressed. And Russians destroyed a grain storage facilities in Vovchansk using 2 guided aerial bombs. The attack targeted a granary and a grain processing building. Fortunately, the incident occurred at night when only security guards were present, and there were no reported casualties. Serhiy Bulvinov, the head of the investigative department of the Kharkiv region police, provided this information. Vovchansk is in Kharkiv. The Swiss Foreign Ministry proposed to include the Russian Federation in the discussion of the Ukrainian peace formula. Is this a joke? Sin, what are you doing? This was stated by Swiss Foreign Minister Ignacio Cassis at the 4th meeting of National Security Advisors in Davos. It's so funny how they try to include Russia in conversations about Ukrainian peace formula or whatnot, because Russians don't listen. Russians don't care for Ukrainian peace formula. Russians don't care for what Ukraine wants. Russians don't care for discussions. Their discussions go in here and go out here. Actually, they go in here and go out from here. Maybe they go in here and go out from here. I don't even know. Probably like Russians listen with their ass, and they also sign papers with their ass as well, because might as well shove it. They don't care. Involving Russia into the, involving Russia in peace talks about Ukraine is really not going to help anybody, not going to help Ukraine, not going to help literally anyone. You're just going to have to sit there and listen to Russia say their lunacy about, Ukrainian Nazis and whatever. In the quest for a new PR agency in Ukraine in the fall of 2023, PepsiCo imposed restrictions barring any mention of war in its advertising. Prohibitions including references to war, hostilities, aggression, military personnel, armed forces, support for Ukraine or the Ukrainian army, and negative connotations implying danger. Interestingly, PepsiCo continues its operations in the Russian market, contributing $115 million in taxes to the Russian budget, employing 20,000 staff and engaging 40,000 agricultural workers. Despite the formal discontinuation of Pepsi Cola sales, the product is still available on Russian shelves through parallel import. It is hilarious that they were trying to find a PR agency in Ukraine, and they forbade Ukrainians from mentioning any references to war in their advertising, while we live in the war, and they're trying to fix their image. They need a PR agency because they didn't leave Russia on time, still haven't left Russia. And not only are they paying taxes in Russia, not leaving Russia, they're also like, oh, we need a PR we need like a PR stunt in Ukraine that's going to fix our reputation, but also please don't talk about the war at all. Yeah, fuck you very, very much. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Lily Allen gets me, I think. Anyways, you guys, that is all I have for you for today. Hi, Florenta. We are, after all the donations today, we are at $4,125, which is phenomenal and really cool. And we are less than $1,000 away from 2 drones. I'm going to post that on Twitter in a little bit. I'm sorry, my dogs are having a bit of a rough housing situation. I do need to go because it is almost 1 a.m. and I am starting to feel a little sick again. And for those of you who missed the stream, it's gonna be on YouTube. Come watch it or rewatch it. And also, please listen to our podcast called Ukraine War Brief. So it's not a stomach ache, it's a food poisoning. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Romania, right? We're in the same time zone. And yeah, so I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to Kyiv on Tuesday night, so I will be here. And I need to put these lovely things to sleep. Привет, привет. And I shall see you tomorrow. And thank you so much. Thank you for everyone who donated. You still can donate now or after the stream, and it'll all be on. I will announce it on Twitter, or I will, I will post the new tally on Twitter. And I will see you tomorrow. Sorry, at some point there comes a time in my evening where my battery dies and I need to go to sleep. And it's a very new thing for me. So, alrighty. Okay. Oh no, hi Lino. I am on YouTube though. All right. Alrighty, bye guys. Good luck with your washing machine. I need to call my dad and tell him. Okay, bye. Wait.